What's good, guys? Prince Sports here. This is the way. So, since we got the losers out the way, let's talk about something that actually matters, the winners. And that's none other than Jokic himself, the Joker, all right? He's here. He's in the NBA Finals. He arrived to Gotham City, NBA Finals. And he's trying to make history for his franchise, to give them the first ever championship in Denver Nuggets history. First time they went to the NBA Finals in Nuggets history. And he has that pressure on his back, but he also has the pressure to overcome Joel Embiid, a guy that he's been competing for MVPs with. Now, last year should have been MVP award should have went to Joel Embiid, but this year you could have made a case it went to the Joker. I think they switched years and they got the years mistaken. So, nevertheless, they both even at what they're supposed to be. 2 awards for the Joker, 1 for Embiid. And you can make a case that, hey, if Embiid played, he probably would have got the first one. But nevertheless, they've been neck to neck with winning that individual award. The thing that's going to have to separate them is, can someone put a stamp approval on it and put a ring on it and get that championship? Now, neither one of these guys are on a super team. I think it's fair to say the era of super teams is pretty much dead. The only guy that needs it and depends on it is LeBron James or Kevin Durant. But any other superstar, rather than Giannis or Steph Curry, they have proven that they could win championships without a super team. So we could put that stupid ass narrative away, because since the history of basketball, teams have been winning it really with just 2 all-stars and then having solid role players. That's pretty much been the foundation to winning NBA championships. Now, if the Joker wins the NBA championship this year, okay, back to what I was saying. If the Joker does win a championship this year, that just makes him a legit top 5 player. He's never been a legit top 5 player. He's always been in there by default due to this generation. And this generation's biggest problem is injuries and guys staying on the court more than any era of basketball. Rather it's the early 2000s, 2010s. No era has more superstars injured than today's league, which is the 2020s. So if you look at it from years past, you got a lot of superstars that people think are better than the Joker, right? This is the first year that he's having his breakthrough year to really being called an elite basketball player. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Oh, he has these MVPs. Well, the first MVP he got was due to the fact that Joel Embiid was injured. There's a good chance that Joel Embiid would have got that. So he kind of got that first MVP by default as well. The second one he got, you can make a case again, that really was Embiid's MVP. I don't know why they gave it to the Joker when he was on the 6th seed. They should have still awarded the MVP to a guy on a 5 and up seed. If anything, 1 seed to 3 seed should get MVP awards. I'm a big advocate of winning. Okay, I don't care if it's by a point. I don't care if it's by a game. If you're 1, 2nd, or 3rd seed, you deserve to have the MVP. And if you're playing at a high level, you're the superstar, you're the man of that team, you deserve to have MVP. So again, he kind of got that MVP by default. And this is the only year that Joel Embiid actually got what he deserved, which was an MVP, the regular season award. He led the league in scoring, and he led his team to the playoffs. So, and they were a top seeded team. That is the number 1 criteria for being the MVP. Well, at least it used to be. Your team had to win a lot of games. You had to be a championship contender, and you had to be a 1 through 3 seed predominantly, and you had to be a superstar putting up good numbers, because those numbers advocate for the fact that you're winning. That's a good case. So with that being said, the Joker now has a chance to turn all of that around, because he's going to the NBA Finals. Now he gets to have a championship, something that Embiid doesn't have. So that'll put him above Joel Embiid if he gets a championship. If he doesn't, we're back to square one. And let me be the first to tell you, one championship does not make the Joker a top 10 all-time player. Doesn't make him a top 20. If anything, he could be a top 35, top 40. One championship is not enough, okay? Plenty of guys got one championship and they're not top 10 players. I mean, even if you just want to crack that top 10, it's hard just to crack that even with two championships, but you have to do it in a certain fashion that's an exception to the rules, right? That too hard to overlook, right? So it depends how you win it in that case. If you just got two, like Hakeem Olajuwon only have two, but the way he won championships was second to none. I mean, he did it the hard way, literally. So that, with the individual accolades he got, is enough to be on the top 10. But it also makes him the weakest candidate, meaning somebody could always come in and take him off if they get three or more. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing behind that. But the Joker would definitely need 2 to 3 to even be in the ballpark lead, right? But one championship at least puts him on, that list of greatest basketball players of all time. It doesn't even put him on the list for greatest centers. He won't be a top 5 center of all time. But what he will be is a guy that's knocking on the door, right? He's not going to be better than David Robinson. He's not going to be ahead of Hakeem Olajuwon. He's not going to be ahead of Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem. I mean, the list goes on and on. But what he will do is have his name in the conversation and say, I'm knocking on the door. So let's see what happens if the Joker could get that number 1 and make this era the Joker era. Gotham City out. This is the way. Peace.